Hello, Colts Nation, and what is up, No Horse and family? Welcome back to another episode of the No Horse and Ground podcast. As always, I am one of two dudes talking Colts. I am one of your hosts, Stephen Burton, and on today's episode, you guys, we're going to talk a little bit about Anthony Richardson. Before we get to that, as always, you guys, we are powered by WagerWire, a revolutionary, one-of-a-kind sports betting app that allows you to get in and out of future bets, in and out of parlays. You can bet on things all the way up to the last minute. You can get out of them before they go bust. It's amazing. Make sure you go over, follow them at WagerWire on Twitter. Go check out wagerwire.com. Drop in your email address. The app is coming very, very soon. And also, while you're on Twitter, check out their Twitter spaces. By fans, for fans. Really cool stuff. So let's talk about the kind of the 233-pound elephant in the room, right? Like it's Anthony Richardson. I've not been big on him. Y'all know I've not been really big on him. I like C.J. Stroud. I've liked Will Levis. He's kind of concerned me. Anthony Richardson has. But let's talk about what was the combine, right? Like, so we know that he blew the combine out of the water, ran what, a 4.44? I think somewhere around 4.44, and the 40 set a record. What is it, 39 and a half inch vertical, somewhere around there. Broad jump, 10 and a half feet. Looked great in the workouts, but I want to play conspiracy theorist today. Truthfully, that's what I would like to do. Play the conspiracy theorist of, could the Colts actually be looking at him, right? So we know that there's connections. You dig back deep enough. Brian Johnson, who is the current offensive coordinator for the Eagles, he was the quarterback coach at Florida when he went to become the quarterback coach at the Eagles under the current Colts head coach, Shane Steichen, right? So you got some inside knowledge potentially on him, right? But the interesting part would be, let's go like the whole purpose of this is like tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. Let's look at some of these random things that we've seen, right? So today on the Rich Eisen show, he had this to say. I hope you guys can hear
this.
Did
you meet with Indianapolis? Okay. Did you meet with Houston, Anthony?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you meet with Indianapolis?
I was meeting them informal. It happened later on.
Informal. What, just run into each other in the hallway? Just, saying hello at the craft services table?
Yeah, so we had a little training session. Okay. Interview process. So I chopped it up with them for a bit.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe it's just me. If you couldn't hear that, right? I don't own any of this. It's Rich Eisen show posted on Twitter. But if you can't hear any of that, basically, Rich Eisen had Anthony Richardson on today, and he said, "I'm going to ask you what I always ask every prospect, right? I'm going to ask you if you interview with these guys, Texans, yes, Colts, and then there was, as Keenan on Twitter said, the most pregnant pause of all time. There was a long pause." And then he kind of fumbled. I had an informal interview with them. What does that mean, right? Like, we're playing conspiracy theory. Like, I don't know if this is what it means or not, but we're playing conspiracy theory, okay? I think that means that they talked to him and they asked him not to talk about it. I think you could be potentially, you can look at this and go, is this kind of like, so you read the tea leaves. Mahomes, when he went to Kansas City, Veach let him very early on know, hey, we like you. We want you. If you're there, we're going to take you, right? Does this give you those kind of vibes? Does it give you the vibes that, hey, man, I think they actually do really like Anthony Richardson. I think they have met with him. I think there's a potential they've met with him multiple times. I don't know what to read into this portion of what I've seen, but you go backwards about a month on Twitter. This is prior to Shane Steichen becoming the head coach. There is the Indianapolis Colts private jet in Gainesville at the airport. Multiple pictures of it up close. What does this mean? Like, could they have met with him informally back then and kind of started talking to him a little bit? And maybe that's why he's confused as to what he should say. And here's the other thing. For those who are saying, oh, I don't know if they'd be interested in him because of Ballard potentially being on the hot seat, not wanting time to develop. I'll debunk that too with the fact that he was on JMV today. Stephen Holder was, and very emphatically said they are interested in him, right? And the timeline wouldn't really match up. I went back and I listened to it, and actually, this is if you guys are watching on here, obviously, this is the series of tweets involving this, right? This is them saying informal visit that included a workout. Plus, probably pretty sure this is our boy Landon over at Blue Stable saying they may have had a pre-combine. I said that it smells a lot like they've met with him and they've asked him to keep it quiet. Keenan, ding, ding, ding. And even Holder, then Stephen Holder, the one Stephen Holder chimes in and says they absolutely do have interest in him, right? So it's interesting because you've got this tinfoil hat conspiracy theory of, and there's a lot of weird, wumpy signs of the Colts probably having some interest in Anthony Richardson. He is the most likely of the 4 quarterbacks to outside of Levis potentially to be sitting there at 4 if you don't want to trade up. And that's the other thing that came out today, right? Supposedly the Bears are asking for 3 ones to move up 3 spots. I don't see Ballard doing it. I think, JMV and Stephen Holder talked about it today. There is changing your spots and doing something a little different. And there is completely doing something you would never do. Ballard, I just don't ever see him giving up 3 ones to move up that high. I just don't. He might change his spots and he might be a little bit more active in free agency. Heck, he might have moved up like a spot or 2. But to move up, to give up that says a lot. And you could sit at 4 potentially, and you could get Anthony Richardson. I'm telling you guys, like, it's a conspiracy theory, but there's a lot of weird boxes. You got that weird pause in his interview with Rich Eisen when asked about talking to the Colts. You got a plane, a private plane for the Colts in Gainesville a month ago, right? He's in Indy for the last week. You can't tell me that you don't think that he talked to them. It's odd, you guys. What do y'all think? Do you think that they're potentially zeroing in on Anthony Richardson? Do you think he's the guy? Do you think that's who they want? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys think. Between Stephen Holder, JMV, right, the plane, the Rich Eisen interview, there's just a lot of weird signs that I think they're looking much closer at him than a lot of people think. I'm not sure if he's like the one for them, but I think they're looking at him very, very closely. So drop into the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that they're targeting Anthony Richardson with their first pick in the first round? I'm not going to say number 4 because who knows where it'd be. It could be 4. It could be 3. It could be 1. I don't think it's going to be 1 at this point with what the Bears are asking. But what do y'all think? As always, you guys, I love you. I know Zach loves you. I'm out. I'll talk to y'all next time.